everybody. I am your host, Church, and this is After Dark with Church. Tonight we're going to be talking about Ouija boards. I don't know if you guys believe in Ouija boards, but I kind of do, because there was a lot of weird things that happened this night that don't add up. It could have just been, a bunch of kids fucking around, but there was just a lot to this story that I don't know how to explain. So I was living out on 429. My buddy Richard, that I saw that had the big cat experience with, like all my buddies. Well, there was a birthday party over at his aunt's, which was just across the street. There was a little road called Ranchet Road. Well, they all lived on Ranchet. Well, we all went to this birthday party. There was me, Richard, his sister, her boyfriend. Like, there was a bunch of people there. There was just a bunch of people there. Well, for some reason, we broke out a Ouija board that night. I think we were all sitting around getting bored finally. It was kind of winding down. So to keep it fun, Brandon decided, hey, you guys have this Ouija board, because Milton Bradley used to, make them as a board game. Dumbasses. So we all sit around and start messing with it. Well, I get down there, right? And I don't think anybody was pushing it. Because I didn't feel any tugging one way or another. It just moved. And we started asking it, like the random questions, like, what is your name? And it said Bob, or I think it was Bob. It was a very simple name. So we were like, all right, right on. Well, everybody was asking it questions, and it was just randomly going to letters and, doing the creepy Ouija board thing. Well, somebody said, what do you want, Bob? And it started like repeating D-I-E, D-I-E, D-I-E. So everybody kind of got weird, and we all started looking around at each other like, okay, who's fucking with us? Who's got their paws on this, little triangle divide, like, but no one would take ownership of it. Like, no one. Well, anyway, that's when it started raining. Just out of nowhere. And one of the reasons we had the party that day was because it was supposed to be sunshine day and night. We were, there were supposed to be like water games, I think, and shit. It was, slip and slides, water balloon fights, all that, weird shit. Well, but that's when it started raining. It wasn't supposed to rain. So finally, I don't remember this one all too well, but I remember that. I remember because it freaked everybody out. People were trying to go home, but Brandon picked up the phone, and the phone line was down, which was another weird occurrence. Like, people were starting to hear things moving around that shouldn't have been there because the parents were gone. Just a lot of weird, creepy elements were going into this. And we started trying to figure out how to close it, how to make it stop, because more and more weird things were happening, and we were asking, like, Bob, is this you? And it started going to yes, and then Brandon got the bright idea to say, where are you right now? And this was the breaking point. A lot of people just wound up leaving, and I don't know if that was a good idea, because this whole thing, I don't know if it ever got resolved. But it started saying outside, and at this point, I'm just like, dude, if it wants to tell me anything else, it can just straight up show me on the board. I don't, I'm not touching it anymore. If it wants anybody, well, so we all abandoned the board. And about that time, the little thing down there just starts going, Like it wasn't really it wasn't moving from letter to letter, but it was like, and then I was just like, oh, this is some bullshit. There's got to be like magnets or something in there. Well, the thing goes, and about that time, like 50 people darted. Like, I'm not real, it wasn't really like 50 people, but like a majority of the people there were like, fuck this, I'm going home. So they all left. Well, they were getting ready to leave. And that's when Brandon was just like, well, by this time the power had gone out. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened whenever it said it was outside. But then it started like just twitching in the dark. And that's when everybody started getting weirded out and talking about leaving. And a lot of them were actually getting their shit together. And Brandon looks out the window and he pointed it out to me and goes, what the fuck is that? And there was like just a shadow, like against one of the trees. Sort of like the shadow thing that I saw in my house, but I'm not sure if it was the same thing. This one felt more malevolent, like more like the thing in my house just seemed like it was fucking around, like it was tied there, like maybe it was some sort of ghost. But this one, whatever this shadow was, seemed just like hateful. Like I honestly think whatever this was actually like some sort of poltergeist. But after the rain quit and everybody finally just said to hell with it and left, like Alex said that they had weird occurrences in that house after this whole Ouija thing. Like you would hear the doors upstairs opening and shutting. You would hear someone like taking a piss in the bathroom, but no one was there. Like, I mean, he said it was just a bunch of little weird shit. Which makes me think, why was it so hateful that night? Like whatever this thing was. I don't get it. And I don't know who Bob is either. And it but one of the things that Alex talked about is ever since that Ouija board night, like every once in a while, he would hear something like outside around the house, and it sounds like he said at first he thought it was like a raccoon or something because he would hear like scratches, but he would go outside and there wouldn't be a raccoon, there wouldn't be nothing there. It never got in the trash like a traditional raccoon, but he would hear things all around the house. And he still to this day, like I haven't talked to him in years, so I don't know if it ever quit. I don't know what it was, but he would just hear random weird things all around the house. I think we may have accidentally made that house a haunted house because they built that house like back in, I think it was like, it was sometime in the 80s. They built that house, and now I feel like we actually created a haunted house, but I don't know, like. It was just another one of those weird things. It could have just been a bunch of coincidences, but it could have been some legitimately strange things. Like, to me, it was weird. Like, because I don't think that many coincidences could have happened at one time. And honestly, kids, that's why I just say stay away from Ouija boards. They're not worth it. They're not worth it. Fuck that. Hi, I'm out. I'm Church. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I hope you're enjoying the content. And if you have anything you want to hear about or just want me to talk about, comment below or go over to the community tab and comment there. Either way, I'm cool with it. All right, y'all have a good one, and stay safe.